Alright, on to vid number 2. Vid number 2 in this series that I'm making that deals with the Yue Yue event in China, wherein the 2-year-old girl was hit by 2 vehicles, passed up by too many people, dropped on her head, and completely neglected on a cold, hard, concrete ground in Foshan, China. I cannot reiterate this enough. The drivers and the people that passed by, what they did was absolutely and totally horrific. It was wrong. It was wrong, wrong, wrong. But at the same time, I have been spying comments here on the tubes filled with nothing but ignorance and bigotry, which are equally as wrong. And I'm going to call some people out on that. These events happen not only in China, they happen in every country in this world. And I blame the human condition. I blame the system of values that we have placed above others. And we could have a good discussion as to where these newer values have come from. But for the time being, instead of attacking the source, which I'm going to attack a little more in the next video, I want to call people out on the blatant, and if you think about it, unfounded hatred towards China. Now, people could argue that, it is founded because of this one event. Well, if we're going to base hatred towards a nation on one event, be very, very careful. Why don't we blame a nation for this? And I will be throwing in those reminders throughout the video to check certain people. One cannot make these kind of statements based on a sheltered moral compass. What am I trying to say here? Certain people from certain nations, and one more so than particular, are assuming that they possess the moral high ground. Why? Because they sit in their home, they watch prime time 90% of the day, and the other 10%, they don't watch a video in its entirety, nor do they investigate a story related to a video. They simply troll a comment. They throw it out there. Oh, this video is about China, so we're going to say fuck the Chinese. Wrong. Just as wrong and as ignorant and as indifferent as this driver. That's a bold statement, but that's how I feel about it, because what you all do contributes to this detrimented human condition that we're all going to discuss. I also want to posit this question to all of you. To all of you who've left these comments. When was the last time you helped somebody? And you might have, but I'm asking it. I'm positing you this question. When was the last time you helped somebody? When was the last time you passed up buying an Xbox so that you could help somebody? And I'm not going to take comments. If you want to tell me when, you make a video. You grow a pair, you put your eyes in front of this thing, and you make a video and you look me in the eye and say, hey, I help people and I think this about China. I'm calling you out. So let's start calling people out. I got a list of comments here, and I'm going to state your names, and I'm going to put your channels in the below bar, so that hopefully some of my more enlightened friends here on the tubes can possibly pay you a visit. So let's start out with Hair H2O. It's unbelievable. Nas, I'm starting to think China is not a problem government, but also people. Once more, if we were to base the national characteristic on one event, and you're using this one for China. Oh man, if you're an American or a citizen of the United States, to be more specific, well, we're in a world of shit, buddy. Let's see, we got Blue Shark 2010. Fuck Chinese, stupid, inhumane piece of shit. Ignored that poor little girl who got hit. May those who ignore her get what she felt. Now granted, I'll agree with a part of that. May those who ignore her feel what she felt when she was run over twice and passed by. But to assume that all Chinese are inhumane is absolutely ridiculous. And if you all want me to make a video based on my own personal experience of events that I have witnessed wherein people were helped in China, I'll make it. It might bore you to tears, but I'll make it. This one comes from 210482FMJ. We should have let Japan finish off China before we broke them in World War II. Fuck China. Recommended reading, asshole. Recommended reading. You want to talk about atrocity on a scale that is very little discussed of? Right here. Try reading, asshole. Horrible Chinese people never thought they watch a little girl bleed to death and do nothing. Yes, because a few stupid assholes, and yes, they were stupid assholes, passed this girl up. All Chinese people are horrible. You all get the idea. I'm tired of reading this vitriol. Oh, yeah, here's the one that tops. One more for you. This one tops them all. This comes from, yeah, I love this name too. Beauty60267, who obviously might have a beautiful exterior, but a rotten interior. Fucking Chinese people have no fucking soul. Are your fuckers hearing me? You fucking cup noodles, vagina eyes, motherfuckers. Thumbs up if you guys feel me. First of all, thumbs up if you need a fucking grammar and spelling lesson. And there was a response to this comment. I really hate those people. How could they do that to a 2-year-old girl? Burn all of them to hell. I made me cry. Such idiot people Chinese are. I really hate their race. Now, some of you might wonder why I'm smiling when I read that last one. I just gotta hand it out to you. That's actually satire, people. My brother in arms, man, MCon2112, man. I gotta admit, I was just so distraught when reading these, and then I came across your comment, and man, you made me laugh through the tears, man. So thanks, I owe you. I believe, like Don Cobb says in Inception, that positive emotion trumps negative. So we've gotten these dipshit comments out of the way. And again, links to their channels in the below bar. I want to read some comments that are uplifting and made me feel really good. Let's start out with... Oh, sorry, I'm getting my papers all messed up. A more subtle one, but I like it. The way, and this comes from CKALB63, the way the van paused and then carried on crushing her again. What kind of world are we becoming? This sort of sickening lack of compassion there is no excuse for. Amen. This is a global problem, people. This lack of compassion is not limited to China. It's the entire world. This one comes from the Merciless Eye. I'm not Chinese, but fuck all of you who are being racist to Chinese people. In New York, a man was stabbed on a busy intersection and was left there bleeding. Millions of people walked by and he was not helped till the next day. True story. It is not the Chinese who are immoral. It is people who are immoral. So stop with the racism, please. Well said. Oh, there is one more. And this is kind of going to be the topic of the next vid. This comes from the Emerald Duke, and again, the Emerald Duke is the guy who broke this story to me, him alongside Jack Luck 4 Heather. But he's talking about relevant questions, and his relevant questions are these. A, why is this child out on her own? Which I attempt to answer that in the previous vid. B, where the fuck are her parents? Again, attempted to ask that in the other vid, or answer that in the other vid. C, and this is the one. This is the one. What the fuck has happened to this world? And then he adds that poor, poor baby my heart is breaking for. What the fuck has happened to this world? That's the big question. This, again, is not a Chinese problem. This is a global problem. And I'm going to keep saying that. So for those of you that left hateful comments, I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch here. But I could say go fuck yourself. But I'm not going to. I'm going to say I pity you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you can't see the bigger picture. I'm sorry that you see yourself as being superior to all other identities through and throughout this world. Because once you hit that level of smugness, and once you see yourself as that much more superior, well, I guess this would be the antithesis to that saying that when you hit the bottom you can only go up. Well, guess what? When you go high up enough, high up, those wings are going to melt and you're going to come crashing right back down. America is not absolved of these same kind of events. It's not. Take a tour of Baghdad. Look at the limbless children and stop by a grave or two. Or just come here to the States. Kelly Fullerton crying and crying and crying for help, crying for his own father while the police mutilated him. They didn't just beat him, they didn't just murder him, they mutilated him. And in that video, there are people standing there, not doing a goddamn thing. That's all I got for now, people. Later, peace. Third video in a bit. Because this series is probably the most emotionally draining series I've ever made. To those of you who aren't ignorant, to those of you that recognize the larger problem, bless you. You are my inspiration. To you couple of ignorant people out there, because I do believe that the majority of humanity is good. Maybe a little confused, maybe a little misguided. But to those of you that are ignorant, once more I pity you. And if you have any questions, if you really want real deal information, serious, get a hold of me. Because I ain't gonna fuck with you. Later. Peace.